Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 with another team adventure. Today's all about the cars from the Rods and Customs category, which means a large selection of very classic American machinery. I naturally am driving a Plymouth Fury. It's the wrong year, but it's as close as I'm going to get to my car in a game for very long, ever actually. I don't think a 65's ever been anywhere. Either way, we're going racing. Now these are A-Class. These are all extensively modified. They're all cut about. Mine's an all-wheel drive swapped machine with a modern Chevy engine in it. There will be plenty of similar builds. There are some completely mad builds. I think I spotted a Cadillac very low to the ground, which would suggest a full race build. There will be some full race cars, of course, with this being A-Class. Race tyres will give you an awful lot of grip on the tarmac. Yes, you will be terrible when it comes to the dirt sections, because, of course, a team adventure with FailRace involves trips not only in or around these tarmac circuits, but also to some of the dirt tracks as well. We're going to shoot through a gap there, and that will put me up to a 6th place. So, yeah, there's all sorts of different builds going on, all sorts of interesting vehicles. I'm likely to be slow down the straights. I'm fine with that. I know I've got a good handling car when we get to the corners, and I should be good off-road. The Fury has actually done me pretty well in the past in a couple of rally tournaments we've done on streams. It has proved to be a formidable opponent when the going gets a bit nasty. So, fingers crossed, it will come good in all of that. Now, not been the best of starts for us in terms of either off the line, and Grimpton hasn't really helped. We've just not had many red cars fighting towards the front. I am hoping that we can start making some progress. Of course, overtaking with these sort of machines is not easy. Everything is very big. It takes a lot of speed, really, to be able to pass such a large vehicle. It takes so long to get an overlap on an Eldorado, for example, that it is, not the easiest thing in the world. And I'm going to get alongside here, but I think Larwood will just go away in a straight line. Oh no, it's not ideal. There's I think, is that a Woody back there? I think it is. Trying to get a run somewhere. Now, there is a Red Team Fury battling on the podium. I think I've got the car to fight up here. I really do think I've got the machine to fight, even with my little bit of lack of straight line speed on a circuit that is more helpful to have straight line speed. Now, I know Glisser's car is running on race tyres. We know that is likely to be pretty good around here. A lot of fast corners for that car to excel at. I'm going to move across. Oh, and defend on the Eldorado. We all got a little bit panicked into there. I'm trying not to slow down my own team while still trying to make progress forward. Guys, if you can get past and run away, go for it, please. Otherwise, I think we're all going to end up slowing each other down through here. Oh, Leathercap thought about it, but there's just no space to try that there. So I think I outhandle them cars pretty much through these faster corners, and then they outdrag me down the straight. Points-wise, it's looking good for Blue Team. They've got first and second all sewed up. We've got a couple of cars actually down at the back. Not quite falling off the tail end, not missed checkpoints down at the back, but struggling a little bit for pace, which is not so good for us. That was a caddy barge turned in a little bit too soon through there. Can I sweep around the outside? Would be tough at this hairpin. I'm trying to kind of pinch the Cadillac down on the inside. Not quite. A little too much to ask of that. It was worth a try. It was about the only option I had at that particular point. The police car is going to have a crack up the inside of me. It might actually get to the inside of the caddy if I can give it a push past. I can't, because I can't accelerate well enough to be able to give it a push along, but maybe it can cause some grief for the caddy that will give me a chance. Oh, the Eldorado's lost it on a slightly tighter line. We will take the opportunity to move back up to 4th. I mean, that one is not going to score Red Team any more points, but in the honour stakes, it gets me another position and gets me closer to leading, for Red Team at least. The Furies seem pretty solid. The Furies do seem pretty solid vehicles. We've got a 3rd and a 5th, soon to be a 5th, because that will, although will Leathercap, I might yield, but Leathercap's gone wide anyway. This isn't good for us. This isn't particularly great for us here if we keep fighting too much. Leathercoat outdrags everything, which helps us, kind of. At least it means that they'll be safe from that attacking horde of machinery. We're getting a little closer in points. It won't be enough. I mean, when they're getting a 1-2, that's 1,250 points. We have to score a lot of points to be able to overcome that. Hell, our entire team is only at 1,500. So, yeah, we'd need a lot more points further back if we were to be able to overcome that. Carry speed there, a little wide on my own. The Hudson is not quite I don't remember if I call that one a Mercury by accident. That is a Hudson that's behind us. Has now actually come under threat from the Cadillac that's now moved up to 5th. It's been a good race. Team-wise, Blue have had the measure of us here. Team-wise, Blue have had the measure of us. Can the Eldorado go around the outside of me here? I think unlikely, to be honest with you. Nope, it can't. It is going to actually lose out to everybody. Everybody's just steam past on that corner as it tried to make it a good effort, but always going to be a tough one to make work. That's got back past the Ford, and we round the final corner. The Hudson's going to have a look. It won't be enough for the Hudson to do anything about it. We cross the line in a 4th position. Fantastic race, mostly between red team scrapping for that podium. Oh, at the very end, the blue team, one of the blue team's caddies fell all the way to the back. That closed up the points gap. It was close. It was close indeed. The Fury seemed decent. It's going to be an interesting one. If we can work off-road, we should certainly at least be able to get some round wins. So, let's find out how good the Plymouth is when we head off-road. Now, this is a tough off-road circuit as well, the Tarnhouse Scramble. It's narrow in places, a bit fiddly. There's a nasty bump that is unlikely to see cars upside down, but unlikely to see these cars. Will roll cars, absolutely. These are generally too big and too wide. I guess not entirely impossible to see them plummet over. We know Gliska's car is going to be terrible. That Ford that ran away at the front of the first race will not, I think it was a Ford, will not like it out here in the slightest. Anybody not on rally tyres and rally suspension will have a tough time, and anyone not all-wheel drive. Up in A-Class with the sort of power we've got going on here, if you're not all-wheel drive, you're going to struggle. Even with rally tyres, I mean, you might still be fast, but you won't match the cars that are on all-wheel drive and with so basically. We've got a good start here. I think Speed Beast is struggling a little bit for grip. Oh, I don't want to be across the puddle because that loses you a lot of momentum through there. We're going to try and run a higher line around the hairpin. You can get a lovely exit if you do that. I think that Ford's still rear-wheel drive, possibly, judging by the way it's slid itself off of the corner. We actually had a lovely run around the outside of the hairpin. Rare it works that well for me, but I will take it. Speed Beast, we know, has got quite a good car on the tarmac. Thankfully, the only section of tarmac is this bit here, where you run up a hill. The power is always helpful if you've got it there, but it's not essential to a quick lap. We jump our way through the puddle. Now, this is looking pretty good for red team currently. Of course, we don't want to speak too soon, naturally, but a selection of cars, I think, are a little bit more. We might have got our cars a little more balanced for, a little bit more focused on being quick out here on the dirt. Now, you can't win one of these team adventures with just having a rally car, or just having a team of rally cars with the way we set these up. There are only ever 2 dirt events, so we will have to win a tarmac race, but it's nice to be able to do something when it gets to the rally stage. I'm going to claw some points back. Whoopsie, there we go. The fence we had. It's still a little bit close. In fact, our Ford has dropped back slightly from this. I was hoping our other... Where is our other Fury? That's down in 6th at the moment. I mean, it's splintered out a little bit. It's actually a little bit more spread out on here than it was at that previous circuit. That is something that we do often see in these, especially if people have gone for more specialist builds, specialised builds, if you like. There are certainly 3 cars that I think are not on rally tyres. Gliska, Recticy, and Goomba, I would imagine. Judging by the gap that they have got back and the fact that all 3 of them are on top of one another, would suggest they are probably running race tyres and not enjoying life out here. I have tried in the past with the whole ultra specialist build and track car. I say the kind of problem I have is, of course, filming this. If I go too crazy with my car, there's a very good chance that there'll be races where you're just wandering around on your own with not much going on. So it's one of the downsides. It means your car will be unbelievably fast in comparison to everything at the tarmac normally. Certainly when we go up to A-class. That compromise generally makes your car very quick on your race tyres, makes it very quick on the tarmac. But you are going to have a couple of rounds that are going to suck. I mean, to the point where we are not actually all that far away. Let's say not that far away from lapping them. We are, by the end of this, probably going to be half a lap ahead of them, and this is in 4 minutes. So, yeah, you got to kind of pick and choose your battles sometimes with these. We've definitely got the off-road setup. My Fury is fantastic out here. We have gapped the field. Speed Beast had dropped to third, now worked way back up to second. Unfortunately, our Ford Ender's fallen back. I suspect on this checkpoint. Scotty missed a checkpoint as well, I saw in the chat. So there's been a few adventures, as there often is when it comes to a off-road sector, especially when you're driving cars like this. I mean, well, this is quite custom. As I say, it's called Rods and Customs. We have customed it quite a lot. It's bloody good for this. Said I've liked the Fury in the past when I've used it for a little bit of off-roading. You know, these big American cars, we saw it with the Cadillac in the Vintage Rally. These can really shift on the dirt if you get them right. I mean, that was rear-wheel driving on entirely the wrong tyres, but still better than the competition that it was going up against. Points-wise, we are 1,000 points to the good, barring a massive mishap along the way. I think we should be okay for a round 2. Well, it'll be a round 2 victory for me on the track. If nothing terrible happens, none of the red cars towards the front miss a checkpoint. I think Ender might have missed a checkpoint. We're still okay for points. It's a bit marginal, but a bit more marginal than it was. We are still okay for points. Our first, third, fourth and sixth for us is looking like it will be enough points to take a victory here. The less suited off-road cars having their own little squabble at the back is going to go. This car, I think, is going to win the battle of the not rally cars. Oh, maybe not. I think Ender might have got it in the end at the final bit, or Ender missed a couple of checkpoints, so a little bit skewed there. I think Bliska wins the battle of the non-rally cars, really. We take victory. The Fury is good, where I was hoping it was going to be good. So that's something. So we head back to a tarmac circuit next, and a very fast one at that. A mean one as well. This particular circuit, it looks simple on the track map, it does, and it is often very, very high speed, but if you are too lacking in grip, you're going to have a tough time around here, because there's a lot of medium speed, higher speed corners that can really screw you over when things go wrong. The final corner in particular can be a nasty one. Again, in A-Class, with everyone on very grippy tyres, as I said, I'd be surprised if anyone's not on race or rally tyres. We should be okay to take the final corners very quickly, and we should, although we are still in very big cars. Nobody knows. I certainly haven't driven this car around this circuit. I've not actually driven this track for a little while, come to think of it. So yeah, I really don't know what we're going to see in terms of performance. This is going to have a go at the inside with the Ford. I can't fight that. That car's on race tyres. There is nothing that I can do. Nothing I have the power to do to deal with that. It's race tyres and rear-wheel drive, I believe. So yeah, I mean, it's light. It's got immense amounts of grip. The fencing's caught a bunch of cars, and I had nowhere to go other than. Unfortunately, if there had been a red team car I could have punted through to the lead and given a little bit of a bump draft, I would have done, but there was none. There was no red team car to give an assistance to, so we just had to give Speed Beast a shove and follow past the Cadillac as well. It was either that or not go past the Cadillac and not give Speed Beast a shove. I felt like going past the Cadillac was a good idea at least. Oh, that Impala looks iffy. That Impala looked iffy indeed around the final corner. So the Hudson in second. We still get off the line with immense amount of speed. I might actually be about to run out of gears. I have kind of run out of aero basically at about 145 miles an hour. Speed Beast doesn't actually go all that much faster than me, which is curious. We're going to have to try and be brave through these first corners. In fact, I could have been way quicker through all of that. Unless he gets in trouble on the grass, bouncing out wide, and he's going to fall to third. That puts a red car to the front, and in fact that actually does give us the points lead, although it's very tenuous at best around here. It's very tenuous. Scotty's not having a fun time with that Mercury. I don't think that's just quite working. Oh, 3 wide. Guys, someone's missing a checkpoint. If you're not careful, they're still 3 wide. Ping off the wall. Yes, keep doing this. Someone's going over on the grass. No, they're still getting away with it. Speed Beast loses out in the end. You can't hold 3 wide down there without somebody rubbing the wall, pretty much. And well, that's what the blacked out Impala would end up doing. I'll take that 3rd place away from you. Thank you very much. I think it's only a matter of time, really. It's when rather than if Gliska's going to find a way past. In fact, and that when is going to be almost immediate around the final corner. Leathercap just not with the grip in the Mercury. Hudson, sorry. They are very similar cars from a distance. They are very similar cars. I think there might have been some missed checkpoints, possibly, from a couple of blue team vehicles, which is working in our favour very nicely here. We're at 150 miles an hour, and that is about when we run out of top end, basically. We run out of gears, and we do sort of run out of aero anyway. I'm not losing too much, thankfully. I meant to extend the gear ratio just a little bit before going into this, but forgot. So, well done me. Now, this is going to check out at the front, I suspect, which is fine. I say which is fine. I'd rather be winning, of course, but sometimes you can't win them all. You've got to accept that that car is better than mine around here. What I've got to do is not let Speed Beast past. I'm happy being a rear gunner to Leathercap's Hudson in this. I do not want to do what we kind of did in the first race, where we fight each other so much that we kind of screw over any chance of our team winning. If we can make sure we stay well clear of Speed Beast, that's fine. If I get past from a mistake like that, that's also fine. Yeah, I've got to keep my foot down. You're going to stay ahead of me. Right, let's work together. This is a team game at the end of the day, and it's slightly different sort of driving you perhaps doing this than you would in a normal Forza adventure, or normal Forza race, if you like. Because, yeah, this is a team championship. We want as many red cars up the order as we can get. And I'm happy to sit in 3rd. Well, if it means not compromising the police car. Now, however, we are going to box out the Impala. That is something we can do here. It requires an awful lot of teamwork to pull it off, but it can be done. Unfortunately, I'm going to run out of space on the outside. I think the Impala is just quicker than the pair of us. My hope is it might come undone trying to overtake the Mercury Hudson, and we can get back past it. I'll get it right eventually. Blue team have actually got too many points anyway, even if I get back past it. Too many of our further down cars are not enjoying this circuit, but we can't quite score enough points, which is a little bit of a problem really for us. That Impala is going to be on the dirt. It gets away with it, but only just. Now, we have got, well, we've got the toe, but we're all quite equal, in fact, in terms of straight line speed. We can have a mega run through turn 1 here. Gliska's gone at the front and will win this race, barring a missed checkpoint. I think Blue Team will win this adventure, barring anything massively untoward happening. We have an absolutely mega run here. I've got nowhere to go with it, though. If anything, we help the Impala through the next corner. I just can't get my nose stuck out to the inside where I need it to be. Now, we might be able to do something clever here. It's a little bit of rallycross. However, we are alongside. Leathercap's through the fence. Quickly! Make the cars wide! Speed Beast is in trouble! Leathercap yields, realises that I am there, and will not fight that, much as we didn't push the issue when we were sat in 3rd. Leathercap realises it's gotten the way of the Fury for now, as we head out of the final corner. Now that Hudson is quick, we know it is, although we know it's also a right handful around this final corner, so we will just keep our foot down. Gliska's won it. Red team, we can't take the victory here, barring a massive upset further down the order. We haven't got enough points. It will be a 2nd and 3rd, though, for Red team in the end. I come out the better of the two. Some excellent teamwork between me and the Hudson. Excellent teamwork in that one. Sadly, just not enough points in the end. The Hornet managing to slow down the Impala. In fact, the Impala ended up losing out to the Woody on that run to the line. Well done to the Woody for making that one work. Yeah, in the end, the teamwork was good for us getting second and third, but with our other Fury only managing 7th as our next highest car, we just couldn't quite score the points there. So we head back to the dirt. Well, I say back to the dirt. It's partially to the dirt. This is the Greendale Foothills Scramble. A, well, half dirt, half tarmac. I say half. It's more about 75% tarmac, but the 25% dirt is very twisty, very fiddly. Which means cars, well, the specialist tarmac cars don't lose as much time, but they are still going to lose a fair chunk through that dirt section. I'm hoping my car's off-road prowess that we have seen so far will be enough to make it work, really. Ambleside Scramble would have been nice for my car in relation to where it seems to be able to make speed. I think it would be a bit unstoppable around there. Oh, helps if you don't miss the checkpoint. Thankfully we didn't. We have got the other Fury up leading the way. We will have a little bit of a dive up the inside. We've got a 1, 2, 3 currently for red. In fact, we've got a massive amount of points for red team. We're not going to hold those positions, of course. It will change as the race goes on. But for now, it's quite nice. For now, it's quite nice. In fact, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If only we could hold those. Yeah, we have got the off-road cars, it seems, on our team. Problem is that we need to win a tarmac race. We would have to, let's say even, I'm hoping we can win this one. If we can win this, it means we have to be good at the final circuit. Who knows if that will be the case here. Bring the Fury to a halt at the nasty hairpin. I'm not quite sure where the brakes are. So Glisco is going to catch back up to us now. Glisco will try and rush through the field with that Ford before we hit the dirt again. I don't know whether the rain is going to help with that, because the rain's not a bigger factor really in Horizon. It is, of course, a thing, but it doesn't really slow down all that much. So I don't know whether there's going to be a huge advantage or disadvantage if a car works well in the... Well, there won't be. But yeah, the extra grippy car might get a little bit more grip in the rain compared to us, but might also be a bit worse on the dirt. So yeah, it's just a variable. I just threw a bit of a variable weather condition. Leather cap that's very wide through there. Just went straight down the river. I think we're going to end up doing the possible battle. We've got so much grip on the dirt in this. It's incredible. That is straight around the outside of another hairpin. It's not even like it's a really banked hairpin. We butchered up the next corner, and annoyingly, as much grip as I've got in this, we will just be massively out-dragged down this next straight. A bit more power would be nice, of course it would, in the Fury, but the amount of corner speed I can take, especially on the dirt, and it's there as well, that sort of kink across the bridge, that's where we pull the gap. That's where we can run away a little bit on Leathercap's the car we're fighting at the moment. I don't actually know what car Funkhouse is in. I can't say. Oh, the really old Ford, the 32, and I don't think it's a HotRods style. Well, it's certainly not a chop roof or anything on that one. So that's what we've got up in third. I think that might have been the third car from the rally race as well. I think that was the other one on the podium. Again, if we can keep our cars here, that would be good. Let's go slip to 7th with the on-road machine. It's battling around there. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to sort of hold out. Here comes that Hudson once more. We're going to have our own little race, I think, for the lead here. Oh, that was too late on the brakes by me. I'll stop, but it's very wide of the corner. Now, again, you saw sometimes we'll work together. However, when you've got this bigger a lead, working together does go out the window a little bit, and you just race as if it was any other race, pretty much. I'm going to stick on the wider line. I like the wider line before. It worked for me. The Hudson hasn't got the grip to make anything stay on that inside. We'll try and not brush the wall on and you know, rub paint off each other's cars if at all possible. we're very evenly matched, but we gain our speed in very different places. So I will hopefully be able to gain a little bit more ground. Yeah, so that Hudson cannot take that corner as quick, which gives me a nice gap and makes me a safe distance by the time we get to the hairpin. But the start-finish straight murders me a little bit. I've got to really not mess up turn 1. That's kind of what put me in trouble this lap. Yeah, so the Hudson kind of closes a bit here. How are the rest of our cars doing? We've got one car off the bottom at the moment. Again, how if we've had missed checkpoints. Ender's struggling with that Ford, surprisingly, around here. It might be rear-wheel drive. I think I saw it on rally tyres, but it could be a rear-wheel drive is struggling a little bit. But that being said, Bliska's still clinging on now to 8th place. The other Fury's up to 5th. That would be quite nice if we can hold on to that. Having to defend again down towards turn 1. It's earlier on the brakes. This time we don't run wide. The Hudson cannot quite get alongside as we head across the dirt section. We've really got a class of our own here in terms of the rally races. There's not much answer for the pairing of a Hudson and a Fury. Funkhouse is doing a good job at fending off with Larwood's Cadillac. Speedbeast has got the Impala fighting around in all of that. In fact, Larwood has now got up to 3rd. We do still need to, make sure we score enough points through the field. We can get a 1-2 here. And as we saw in the earlier rounds, a 1-2 gives you so many points. But we don't want to lose out too much through the rest of the field. I think if I get the first sector right, I think I'm fast enough. Any little mistake from me will cost me, of course. But I think I might have got just... Actually, this is the final lap. I thought we had one more to go. I forgot I made this one slightly shorter because they are quite long laps around here in comparison to other Horizon events and races and so on that we do. It was a fantastic race against the Hudson. It really was. Funkhouse must have missed a checkpoint at the end. Bugger. And I've actually entirely butchered up those final corners. I was just wondering why we suddenly lost a whole bunch of positions. I might actually get out dragged now because I was busy looking at the points. We will squeeze the Hudson as much as we can. We do lose out. Oh no, we get given it on the line. The photo finish goes the way of the Fury, apparently. I think that was Forza forgetting how to count again. I was figuring out, how we lost so many points at the end. It doesn't matter in the end. Either way, whichever way round we go. It's a solid victory for Red Team. Larwood gets 3rd with the Cadillac ahead of the Impala. It is our Roadster that gets 5th in the end. Yeah, Funkhouse unlucky to be dumped down the order right at the death. The final round. It is the decider. Well, our final racetrack of the day is around the wind farms, the Moorhead Wind Farm Circuit. Don't know whether it's going to be good for the Fury or not, to be honest with you. There's a lot of elevation changes. There's a couple of very nasty corners. The braking zone into turn 1 is horrible. Blue team have their fastest car starting on pole, which isn't great for us. I suspect that will bugger off into the distance, never to be seen again. I am buried. In fact, I am almost right at the very back. And I guess the good news is the cars that I need to beat, we need to beat Speedbeast. We need to beat everyone. But the Impala is probably one of our bigger rivals for some points. This track should work for the Hudson of ours. This track should definitely work for the Hudson, I would expect. It's more straight-line speed orientated than a lot of other ones that we have gone to. We're all out of ghost mode now. Actually all got through turn 1 quite nicely. The barges get themselves in trouble. Oh, I ran a little too wide and have lost all of my speed. Our Chevy has got a lot of straight line speed, but in theory that thing might work around here. This is one of those tracks that it might just about be good for. However, again, you've still got to be really careful with these corners. And missed checkpoints are also an ever-present danger. In fact, our Ford Roadster is up at the front. That might give Bliska some trouble if it doesn't make a mistake. It's missed some checkpoints so far. So if Ender can keep it out of trouble, that might actually give the other Ford a bit of bother. That's not particularly helpful, is it now? I know you've got a very quick car at a straight, but you've got to get around a corner without ploughing somebody into a wall. Because I will now just go flying through here, and it screws us both. At the end of the day, it screws us both over. You know, we're trying to get points for red team, which is close to doing well. I don't think the Cadillac barge back there is enjoying this track. Yeah, a handling barge might not... my Fury doesn't really like this track. It's too fast for it, really. We outturn a lot of cars, but we just immediately lose all of the positions that we might have gained. It's close up at the front, and we kind of need a win, or we need more points back here. That's where it matters, really. The Fury's in the wall. We're gonna skate up a position. Leathercap's fighting with... So the Ford Woody we saw was quite quick on one of the previous circuits. Oh, we're 4 wide almost coming up the hill. The Cadillac's got all of us. That was a great move from Larwood there. However, can the Caddy hold on? That's a funky line that's on through there. And was very slow taking said funky line through all of that. We need to get we need to get all of us back past that. I certainly need to be past that, and then I need to try to chase down any of the cars ahead. I don't think I can do it, you know. I don't think we've got the pace. I think the Chevy might. I think the Chevy might have the pace to get past the Eldorado with me. If it can get in the right place up the hill, if it can not make any mistakes, not go massively sideways, coming up to the hill, that would be really advantageous not to have the car ahead brush the wall. Right, Chevy, go. You've got way more power than me. Make the most of it. Chase after that Cadillac, slow it down, and then we can maybe both get past it. I don't really want to have to do this, but I have also got to make up my own time in the corners. We also can't afford to lose out to the Cadillac at the back. I mean, this fight could come down to who gets 8th. This race could come down to who gets 8th. If we can get any other positions, if Funkhouse can get 4th, if we can get 8th, that would make a world of difference here. We are kind of swapping places, but it's to no real avail back here. That Cadillac looks like such a horrible thing to drive. No, our Chevy hit the wall. In fact, everything's hit the wall through there so far. I'm not quick enough at this track. This is probably one of the weakest places for the Fury, and it shows. It shows we are going to be short. In fact, we lost out. In the end, Leathercap lost out to Rectasy for that 3rd position. We will have to settle for a 9th. Not good enough. The Fury just didn't work around that particular track. It was close. We got to within a place. We got to within a place of making that work. But in the end, just not quite enough. Blue team will take victory in this hard fought for battle. We definitely had the off-road cars. The Fury was the car to beat on the dirt, but just not quite quick enough on some of the tarmac stages. Well, there we go. That is going to be it for this adventure. Thank you all very much for watching. If you would like to take part in the next one of these, you can sign up via our forum. There'll be a link in the description of this video. Find the FailRace versus the community section, and you can sign up in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Until next time, a goodbye.